Beginning in child's pose, bring the big toes together and open the knees as far apart as feels comfortable to you, remembering that you could also close the knees if that felt like a better shape for you. And let's start in a really active child's pose. Extend both of your arms straight forward toward the top of the mat and have your hands about the distance of the shoulders. Spreading your fingers wide as the eyes close, start to draw the breath in and out through the nose and along the back of the throat. Notice the sound the breath makes, and let your awareness rest firmly on that sound, knowing that things are going to come up, thoughts, distractions, sensations. The mind's going to rehearse things that are coming up later in the day, and it's going to rehash things maybe that have already come up. But your job is to notice when that stuff starts to happen and to come right back to your next breath, so that way we turn this practice into a meditation in action. So with your breath deep, on the inhale, start to crawl your hands over to the right, keeping your chest down over your right thigh. Feel how your left ribs sweep out toward the left side of your mat. And then as if you could, just send a little extra breath into your left lung, filling it a little bit more, getting a little bit wider through the left side of your space. And on your next inhale, walking the hands forward toward the top of the mat and then all the way over toward the left. And as the hands walk over to the left, feel how the right ribs swing out to the right, and using your mind as if you could just shift all of your breath into your right waist. Feeling how your sit bones continue to shift back towards your heels. On your inhale, reach both of your arms forward toward the top of the mat, and then pause through the exhale as you shift the sit bones slightly further back. On your next inhale, rising to all fours, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, go ahead and lift the right leg straight up. And as you lift the right leg up, pivot the right pinky toe down toward the mat as you roll the outer right hip down toward the mat. Really firing up the right heel, press energy through the right heel toward the back of the space. With your gaze down beyond the tips of your fingers, the back of your neck super long, send your left arm forward. Bicep might be near or by the ear. Have the hand in a handshake space, and as if you could, just reach the left fingertips away from the right heel. So we're going for length rather than a back bend, and you can feel the low belly lift up and in just like that. Take a big inhale at the top. As you exhale, left elbow to right knee, curl in, tap and touch. Feel the belly hug up toward the spine. Inhale, send everything back out straight and strong. 2 more like that. Exhale, elbow to knee, curl in. Inhale, send it all out. Feel an expansion on the breath. Last time, exhale, elbow to knee, curl in. Inhale, reach everything out. Keep the right leg where it is and just place the left hand down on the mat underneath the left shoulder. Keeping the right leg as it is, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee up and back, right back to a 3-legged downward facing dog. Let your left heel get heavy toward the mat, and notice how beautifully all of their hips are squared here, their outer right hip spinning down toward the floor, just like we had a moment ago in tabletop pose. But now we're gonna stack it. So send your right leg toward the sky. As you point your right toes to the right, bend your right knee. As you point your knee toward the ceiling, continue to wrap your right shoulder toward the back of the room. Continue to wrap your right ribs back, staying heavy through the left heel as you press it down toward the floor. On your next inhale, reach your right leg straight back. Square the hip off once again, continuing to rotate the pinky toe down toward the mat. As you exhale, lower your right foot down to the mat. Pause in downward facing dog. The fronts of the heels getting heavy toward the mat. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, lower your right knee down to the mat underneath your right hip. Step your left foot to the back of your mat and seal your back foot flat down toward the floor, setting up for modified side plank pose. The left arm comes up toward the sky, and as you stack the left arm on top of the right hand firmly underneath the right shoulder, and you notice that what we have here are the joints stacking. So the shoulder is right above the wrist. It's one long line of energy. Take a deep inhale at the top, and as you exhale, left arm out and over your head to extend. Notice that the belly didn't spill forward toward the top of your mat. You continue to draw the low belly in so that you contain, you don't turn it into a back bend. If you feel like you have the space, go ahead and lift your left leg the height of your left hip, flexing your left toes back towards your face. Remembering you can always keep the left leg down if that feels like a better place for you today. With the left leg elevated, keep it there if you have it. On your inhale, left arm straight back up toward the sky. As you exhale, place your left hand down to the mat. Set your left toes down at the back of your mat and step your right toes back to meet your left. Pausing in upper push-up plank pose. Feel yourself elongating from the crown of the head to the heels. Take a goodbye inhale here. As you exhale, hover chaturanga. The elbows come in. Press back to plank on the inhale. 2 more like that. You could always use your knees. Exhale, hover elbows in. Inhale, press back up as 1 unit. Last time, exhale, hover elbows in. Inhale, press back up to plank. And as you exhale, down dog, firm the thighs back. Beautiful. As you pause in down dog, take a deep inhale here. And then lower both of your knees back down to the mat, coming back into tabletop pose. On the inhale, lift your left leg up and back, driving the left heel toward the back of the space. You sense that as your outer left hip rotates down, your right hip continues to hug into the center line. That fires up your low belly. Then as you feel ready, send your right arm forward, going for length rather than a back bend. So actively lifting your low belly up and away from the mat. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, elbow to knee, curl in just a little touch on the core. Inhale, send it all out and grow long. 2 to go. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, elbow to knee, last time as you curl. Inhale, send it all out, grow really straight and strong. Just the right hand comes down underneath the right shoulder. Tuck your right toes, firm your right thigh back, 3-legged downward facing dog. Feel how the outer left hip continues to square down toward the floor. So when we flow with this really nice flat back. But since it feels good, go ahead and send the leg up toward the sky as you pivot the toes to the left, then bend the left knee, stack the left hip on top of the right. But notice that you never lose the left side of your chest. Your left shoulder wraps back and your left hand continues to carry some weight. Then as you feel ready, send your left leg straight back, square the hip off, really strong through that heel as you press back. Then as you exhale, lower the left foot down to the mat. Pause in down dog. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, lower the left knee down underneath the left hip. Pivot the right foot flat to the back of the mat and sweep the right arm straight up toward the sky. Stacking the right shoulder on top of the left. Sense that there's no way that you're in a back bend. So the low belly continues to hug in and the ribs continue to draw in. Then as you're ready, sweep the right arm out and over your head. Extend the arm, reaching through the fingertips. The pinky finger spins down, the thumb spins up toward the sky, and only if it feels right, float the right leg up and off the mat. Flexing the right toes toward the face. Notice that in a moment of balance, you didn't start to hold your breath, so continue to breathe deep. On your next inhale, right arm straight up to the sky. As you exhale, plant your right hand down underneath your right shoulder, set your right toes down at the back of your mat, and step your left toes back to meet your right. Remembering you could always use your knees if that felt better for you. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, hover chaturanga, elbows in. Inhale, press back to plank, 2 to go. Exhale, hover chaturanga. Inhale, press back to plank. Last time, exhale, hover. Inhale, press back to upper push-up. Down dog's your exhale, firm the thighs, press everything back. And take a second here. Feel the heels heavy toward the mat. Feel the inner hands pressing down to the mat. And maybe you even close your eyes for a couple of breaths. Take a moment, sink in, and notice the sound your breath makes. So just starting to feed the body with a little bit of space between each and every thought that arises as you ground into your breath. With the hands firmly planted to the mat, take a deep inhale, stretch everything back. As you exhale, gaze forward, bend the knees. Step, or if you're ready, feel free to float to the top of the mat. Inhale, chest out as you lengthen. Exhale, forward fold in. On the inhale, sweep the arms out, rise up, palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart, close your eyes, and just making the commitment today to flowing on the sound of your breath. That this is time that is just for you. It's a gift you give to yourself. On the inhale, circle the arms to the sky, deep breath as you rise. Exhale, forward fold as you dive over the thighs. Inhale, glance out, grow long across the back. Exhale, plant the hands to the mat. First round, step back to upper push-up and lower slow all the way down to the mat. Then inhale to low cobra, elbows hug in, shoulders roll down the back as the tops of the feet press to the mat. As you're ready, tuck the toes, drop the chest and chin, press back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, on the inhale, lift your right leg up and back, remembering to square that hip. As you exhale, knee to the nose, bring it in one time, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, right leg up and back. As you exhale, step your right foot forward to the top of the mat, followed by your left to fold in half. Inhale, glance out, halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold back in. On the inhale, sweep the arms out, rise high. Exhale, hands to the heart, back to the place where you create intention and space. Inhale, circle the arms to the sky, deep breath as you lift. Exhale, forward fold, dive and melt down in half. Inhale, glance out to a flat back. Exhale, hands down, step, or if you're ready, float to chaturanga, then the elbows bend. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, tuck the toes, press back. On the inhale, the left leg to the sky, the hip continues to square. Exhale, knee to the nose, bring it in, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, left leg up and back. As you exhale, step the left foot lightly forward, right away, follow it by the right to fold in half. Inhale, glance out, the shoulders draw down the back. Exhale, forward fold in. Inhale, sweep the arms out, rise high. Exhale, hands to the heart, back to your center line. Inhale, circle the arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold as you dive over the thighs. Inhale, glance out. Exhale, hands down, step or lightly shoot the toes to chaturanga. Big inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, down dog, tuck the toes. Right away, the right leg lifts on the inhale, knee to the nose as you exhale. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot steps forward, followed by the left. Inhale, chest out. Exhale, fold and melt. Inhale, sweep and rise high. Exhale, hands to the heart center line. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold, get empty of breath. Inhale, glance out. Exhale, hands down, step or float to release. Then welcome the inhale into your back bend. Exhale, tuck the toes and shift back. Left leg to the sky. Inhale, knee to the nose as you exhale. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left foot steps, followed by the right. Inhale, chest lengthens. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep and rise high. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, circle the arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold as you dive. Inhale, pull the heart out. Exhale, hands down, step or lightly float. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, tuck the toes. Last round, right leg to the sky. Inhale, knee to the nose as you exhale. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step the right foot lightly forward, followed by the left. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold and keep the length. Inhale, circle the arms up high. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, circle and sweep. Shoulders stay soft. Exhale, dive and fold in half. Inhale, lengthen and glance out. Exhale, hands down, step or shoot the toes. Inhale, lift the heart up. Exhale, press back. Left leg to the sky. Inhale, knee to the nose as you exhale. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left foot steps, then the right. Inhale, chest out. Exhale, fold and melt. Inhale, sweep the arms out. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, circle the arms high. Exhale, dive and fold. Inhale, glance up. Exhale, hands down, step or shoot the toes to release. Inhale, your back bend lifts the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes, press everything back. Take a big inhale in down dog, and then walk the hands back to the feet. Give yourself a moment, get off of the arms, grasp opposite elbows. Let the head be heavy, and if the hamstrings are tight, if the back is tight, you can always have just a tiny micro bend in the knees. And sometimes that's nice, even if you're not tight, just to kind of soften into things. If you feel like you want to sway a little bit side to side or up and down, you want to add a little bounce or a little movement, sometimes that feels good too. But notice at no point in time do you lose your breath. You just keep coming back. If you notice the mind wanders or drifts, right back to the next breath. Let the arms release heavy down toward the mat, and then just as gently as you can, crawl your way back out, downward facing dog. As you crawl your way back out, root into your two hands. Take a deep inhale, press the chest back. As you exhale, gaze forward, step or lightly hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, glance out. Exhale, forward fold in. Bend the knees, drop the hips, circle the arms to the sky. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. As you exhale, start to release the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers, catch them, and drop the hands up and over the head as you straighten the legs. On the inhale, back to chair pose. Circle the arms up, release the interlacing of the hands. Dive and fold, straighten the legs in half. Inhale, glance out, grow long. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower slow but strong. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog, tucking the toes. Right leg to the sky, take a deep breath. Exhale, step the right foot forward, pivot the back foot flat. Inhale, first warrior, right hip hugs back, chest squares ahead. Today, bend the elbows, roll the shoulders down the back, open up the chest. Inhale, back to first warrior, maybe the palms even touch to press. Exhale, hands to the mat, step your right toes back, lower slow, elbows in. Inhale, scoop the heart up. Exhale, tuck the toes and press back. Lift the left leg to the sky, inhale. Lightly step the left foot forward, back foot pivots flat. Inhale, circle the arms to the sky. As you exhale, hug the elbows in, open up the chest, roll the shoulders down the back. Inhale, back up, warrior one, maybe the palms press to touch. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back and lower slow on your out breath. Inhale, opening the chest up. Exhale, tuck the toes and shift back and take a moment in down dog. Notice the sound that your breath makes and see if your gaze can just gently rest on one steady place so the eyes aren't darting around, and that just helps to calm the nervous system, helps to calm the mind. As you're ready, take a deep inhale, stretch back. Look between the hands, bend the knees, step or lightly float to the top of the mat. Inhale, glance out. Exhale, forward fold in. Bend the knees, drop the hips, circle the arms to the sky, chair pose. As you exhale, hands behind the back, interlace, dive and fold in half. Inhale, back to chair pose, circle the arms up high, beautiful. Exhale, dive and fold in, straight legs. Inhale, glance out, long spine. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower slow to the mat. Inhale, scoop the heart up. Exhale, tuck the toes and press back. Right leg to the sky as you inhale. Lightly step the right foot forward. First warrior, inhale, reach the arms up high. As you exhale, bend the elbows, open up the chest. Beautiful. Inhale, send the arms back up. Exhale, hands down through the vinyasa, lower slow and release. Inhale, opening up the heart. Exhale, tuck the toes, firm the thighs, left leg to the sky. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step lightly forward, back foot flat. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, hug the elbows in. Inhale, both arms lift high. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back and lower slow with control. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, tuck the toes and press back. So if you're practicing with us at home, keep in mind that we've got a room full of really strong yogis today. So at any point in time, if you feel like you want to place the knees down to the mat and have some support during your vinyasa, you can always do that. And feel free to take a break anytime you need it. Child's pose is always there for you to come back to. But if you feel ready, your breath's in place, it's smooth and steady, let's cycle through that one more time. Take an inhale and stretch back. Gaze forward, bend the knees, step or lightly float. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, fold in. Bend the knees, drop the hips. One breath, chair pose. Hands behind the back, interlace, dive and melt in half. Inhale, back to chair pose. Sit down deep. Exhale, straighten the legs, dive in. Inhale, glance out. Exhale, hands down. Step or shoot the toes or use the knees. Inhale, lift into your back bend. Exhale, tuck the toes. Right leg to the sky. Exhale, right foot steps light. Inhale, first warrior, circle high. Exhale, elbows in, open up the chest. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Exhale, hands come down as you step back to release. Inhale, open up. Exhale, tuck the toes. Left leg to the sky, last time. Step the left foot forward, back foot flat. mat. Inhale, rise, first warrior, left hip back, bend the elbows, open up the heart. Inhale, rise, exhale, hands down, step back and lower slow. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes and press back. Lift your right leg to the sky on an inhale, step it lightly through as you exhale. First warrior, inhale, send the arms up high. As you exhale, bring your two hands together at your heart and pause. Pivot onto your back left toes. As you spin onto your back left toes, keep your right hip hugging in, lean out halfway, shift the weight forward, step up and take flight, third warrior. Gazing gently down at one point just beyond the head of your yoga mat. Sense that even as you balance, you keep your breath flowing nice, steady, and smooth. Your outer left hip continues to roll down toward the floor, just like we were working at the start of our practice. Grounding down through your right leg. On the inhale, rise to standing. Your left knee is going to pull into your chest. Stack your left thigh on top of your right thigh. You could plant the toes down and have a kickstand, or maybe you double wrap the foot behind the calf. Send both arms straight forward toward the top of the space, spin the palms to the sky. Left elbow underneath the right, spin the palms to face. And then as you pause here, see if you can find your right hip and drag your left hip and drag your left hip toward the back left corner of your mat. Then start to sit down deep into your right thigh. Sit as low as you can, maybe even getting that thigh parallel toward the mat. And then once you've found your deepest place, one time take the elbows past the knees and curl in. So the thing we want to think about is getting the elbows past the knees, not collapsing the chest on top of the thighs, not resting the elbows on the knees. Can it still be active as the low belly draws up and in? Keep what you have. On the inhale, lift the chest, face the horizon ahead. Then at the top, fly away. Arms extend, leg reaches out, flex the toes toward the face. Take a goodbye inhale at the top. As you exhale, float back to warrior three. Left leg behind you, take a breath at the top. Start to bend your right knee, step back. First warrior, inhale, send the arms to the sky. Deep breath as you lift. Pause here, release your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, inhale, lift your chest, exhale, dive down. Just one time today, humble warrior as you pour yourself in half. Now the key to the pose is continuing to draw the right hip toward the back right corner of the mat. The chest continues to spin parallel to the floor. The left shoulder, the left ribs down toward the mat. The knee and the shoulder connected, they touch. On the inhale, circle the arms to the sky. First warrior, deep breath as you rise. Exhale, both hands to the mat through the vinyasa. Step back and lower slow. You could also skip it and meet us in down dog. As you find down dog, tuck the toes, shift back. Left leg to the sky. Inhale as you rise. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Spin the back foot flat. Inhale, first warrior, circle the arms to the sky. Pause at the top, bring your hands to your heart. With your hands to your heart, pivot onto your back right toes. Lean out halfway. Gaze beyond the top of your yoga mat. Shift forward, take flight. Third warrior, your right leg lifts the height of your chest. The shoulders rolling down your back. Your low belly lifting up and in, just like it did in that early tabletop pose. On your next inhale, rise to standing. Float the right knee into the chest. Stack the right thigh over the left thigh. You could double wrap the foot, or you could make a kickstand for support. Send both of your arms straight forward toward the top of the mat with the palms to the sky. Right elbow underneath the left. As your elbows lift the height of your chest, continue to drag your right hip back. And then as you sit down deep, you find your deepest place. And as you're ready, fold elbows past the knees on the exhale. Notice that the forearms continue to press together. Notice that the inner thighs continue to squeeze. And even though there's some balance here, that your breath stays really smooth and deep, never sacrificing the breath for a pose. On the inhale, lift the chest, face the horizon, then fly away. Send your arms to the sky, kick your right leg out, flex your toes to your face. Float back, third warrior, just for a moment, chest parallel to the mat. Very gently start to bend your left knee, land back, first warrior. Inhale, arms to the sky, deep breath. Pause at the top, send your hands behind your back, interlace one finger over if you can. Big inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, dive and fold, chest parallel to the mat. Inner left knee, outer left shoulder connected. They're glued together, like there are magnets there and they want to stay in touch. Some of us can't quite get that deep. That's totally normal. If you're practicing at home, your chest might be parallel to your thigh. That's beautiful. Be there as you drag your left hip back. Rooting down through your 2 feet. Inhale, back up. First warrior, circle the arms to the sky. Exhale, hands come down. Step the left toes back. Lower slow and let the breath go. Inhale, lift the heart up. Exhale, tuck the toes, shift back. Downward facing dog. As you pause in down dog, find that one steady place where your gaze is resting. Take a big inhale, stretch everything back. As you exhale, gaze forward, bend the knees, step or lightly float to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold and keep the length. On the inhale, sweep the arms out, rise up, palms touch overhead. As you exhale, bringing your 2 hands to your heart, pause at the top, and then step open to face the left side of your mat. And as you step open to face the left side of your mat, keep your feet pretty wide, turn your heels in, point your toes out, and with your knees directly over the center of your feet, notice your knees don't collapse in. You wrap your outer thighs underneath. Tailbone dropping, low belly lifting, palms still at the heart. Take an inhale, spread the arms out wide. And then as you exhale, take your left hand to the inside edge of your left foot. Glue your left shoulder, your left elbow to your left knee. Keep both knees wrapping open and take a glance back at your front right knee. Did it collapse in? See if you can. Continue to open it out over the center of the foot. On the inhale, press back through the center, shoulder soft, tailbone drops. Exhale, right hand to the inside edge of the right foot, left arm to the sky. Feel the collarbone spreading wide as if you could just reach the fingertips away from each other. On the inhale, press back through the center, send the palms down, take one last deep breath, sit deep. Exhale, straighten both legs, pause at the top. With your right toes pointing straight forward, spin your back left foot on a gentle angle. Second warrior, sit down deep into your front right knee. Palms spinning down, shoulders softening down the back. Flip your right palm to the sky. Inhale, reverse your warrior, right arm up and over your head. And just breathing into the right lung, like you did at the start of your practice in that early child's pose, fill the right lung with your breath. Take one more inhale to lean back. As you exhale, right hand to the inside edge of your right foot, left arm up to the sky, and then right away out and over your head to extend. Just like we were working a moment ago, gluing your shoulder to your knee and continuing to wrap your right thigh underneath you and towards your face as your heart spirals toward the sky. On the inhale, left arm straight up to the ceiling above. Spin your left palm to face behind you and drop your left hand behind your back. Some of us are going to stay right here in a half bind. This is a great place to be to open up the left shoulder. If you have the space, maybe the right arm snakes underneath and you hook the wrist if you can, but maybe it's the fingertips. Then pull the chest forward and out. See how long you can get through your right waist, and you might stay here. If you have bird of paradise, if that's in your practice, you'll gaze down towards your front right foot. You'll step your left foot forward to meet your right. Shift your weight into your left foot, hugging your right knee into your right shoulder, rising all the way up to stand. And some of us might start to extend that leg towards straight. Might not get all the way straight today, that's fine. Just see what you have. Right shoulder rolling down the back, chest squaring forward. And if you're holding the bind at home, hold the bind and breathe. Know that you can do it. Know that you have your breath. If you're all the way up in bird of paradise, start to rebend your right knee. Plant your right foot gently back down toward the mat. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. We'll all meet here. Right hand comes down, left arm to the sky. On the inhale, reverse your warrior. Sweep the right arm up and overhead for momentum. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Step the right toes back and lower slow through the vinyasa. Inhale, scoop the heart up. Exhale, tuck the toes, press everything back. Take a goodbye inhale, stretch back, gaze forward, bend your knees, step or lightly hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, glance out. Exhale, forward fold and melt. On the inhale, sweep the arms out, rise high. Exhale, hands to the heart, close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, standing tall at the top of your mat, call to mind one thing that you're grateful for today. And if it's early in the morning, maybe something for yesterday. And just see if you can see that moment fully and completely. Everything about it, every detail, every color, every texture, the temperature. Nothing's too big and nothing's too small. Maybe it was just the perfect cup of coffee that you had yesterday and you were grateful for that. See if you can just call that gratitude to mind and really hold it in your heart. Feel how it fills you up in the same way that your practice fills you up, in the same way that your breath fills you up. See if you can stay with that. Gently blink the eyes open, and as you blink the eyes open, hug the right knee into the chest. And as you hug the right knee into the chest, take the left hand to the left hip and pause. Now, some of us at home might stay right here. With the left hand on the left hip and the right hand on the right knee, this might be plenty. Feel free to stay here just like this. If you have the space, maybe reach your first two fingers on your right hand down and hook your right big toe. Now, what tends to happen, stay like this for a second. The right knee wants to open out to the right. We want to continue to hug that right knee up toward the sky just like that. Keeping that, start to extend your right leg toward your version of straight, remembering that if you're at home, you could absolutely continue just to hold that knee. That would be a great place to be. Now, whether you have the knee or the big toe, start to open your right leg out toward the right and notice how the hips stay side by side. One doesn't lift up much higher than the other. Both of your hip bones continue to point straight forward to the top of the mat. Now, whether you're holding the knee or the toe, could you start to gaze over your left shoulder? Play with a little bit of balance there as you breathe. Perfect. Notice you don't hold the breath to try to hold the pose. On the inhale, gaze straight ahead. Reach your right leg back forward toward the top of the mat. See if you can keep your right leg there. Send both of your arms straight up toward the sky, just a breath. As you exhale, right foot meets the left. Keep the hands overhead. Interlace the fingers, press the palms to the sky. As you exhale, over to the right, deep side stretch. Kick that left hip out. Give yourself a moment. Deep rib swing breath. Inhale back to the center. And exhale over to the left. Easy breath. Inhale back to the center. As you exhale, hands to the heart. With your hands at the heart, pause here. Float your left knee towards your chest. And as your left knee floats towards your chest, kick your left leg straight out in front of you. Flex your left toes towards your face. Your hands could absolutely stay at your heart, but if you feel steady, send both arms to the sky. Now, with both arms to the sky, notice that the hips stay right over the shoulders. The belly is working like crazy to stabilize. Take one more deep inhale here, and then float to warrior three. Left leg floats back. Arms might come down by the sides. Arms might stay out in front. Hands might be at the heart. Those are all great places to be. With your gaze down, your left hip squaring toward the mat. Keep that. Just lower your left hand down to the mat. Send your right arm toward the sky. As your right arm stacks on top of the left, continue to pull the chest out. Continue to lengthen through the spine. Reach through the crown of the head. The right hip continues to hug in. The left thigh continues to lift. Take a deep inhale. Lean back. Open up. Press the tip of the right shoulder blade into the back of the heart. Exhale. The right hand comes down. Standing splits. Walk the hands in either side of the right foot. Maybe wrap the right forearm around the right calf. Maybe draw the forehead toward the shin. Continue to drive the left heel back and maybe even spread the left toes if you have the space. Sometimes it's nice just to drive energy through the foot, but see if you can continue to square that left hip down toward the mat. Take a goodbye inhale there. As you exhale, left toes meet the right, forward fold in half. Inhale, glance out, make space across the chest. Exhale as you fold back in, bend the knees, drop the hips, circle the arms to the sky. Chair pose as you sit down deep, the inner thighs spiraling down, the tailbone dropping toward the mat. Keep the knees as they are, bring the hands to the heart, left elbow to the right knee as you take a twist. Dragging the thumbs back by the heart, watch out for two things here. The knees stay side by side, so that means that the left thigh's got to hug back like crazy, but at the same time, you've got to continue to hug the right hip into the center line. So making sure that you're nice and compact right into the midline of the shape. If it feels right, send the left hand down, reach the right arm to the sky. Maybe you spread the arms and widen the wingspan as those fingertips reach away. See if you can commit to the knees staying right where they are. Inhale, back to chair pose. Circle the arms up. Deep breath as you lift. Exhale, dive and fold in half, straight legs. Inhale, glance out, pull the chest. Exhale, hands come down, step, or if it's your practice, gently float the toes to the back of the mat. Inhale, cobra or upward facing, lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the toes, press everything back. As you pause in down dog, step your 2 feet together at the back of the mat. On the inhale, float forward, upper push-up plank position. Remember what we started with, modified plank? You could absolutely come back to that and put a knee down if that felt best. Otherwise, rotate to the outside edge of your left foot and send your right arm to the sky. As you stack your shoulders, continue to drive your heels back. And for a moment, see if you can keep your big toes connected and just lift your right heel. So encouraging the inner thighs to spin back. If this is enough, stay here. If you have the space, tree pose with your top right foot. Float your right foot to your left inner thigh. Not on the knee, but above the knee, or even below it if that were best, your choice. With the right arm to the sky, take an inhale. Right arm out and over the head as you exhale. Long line of energy, reach everything out. Give yourself a moment, full expansion. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, right hand to the mat. See if you can keep tree pose. Start to lower slow, the elbows hug in, then at the last moment, shoot the right toes back. Inhale, cobra or upward facing to lift the chest. As you exhale, tuck the toes, press everything back. Take a deep inhale, downward facing dog. And as you exhale, walk the hands all the way to the back of the mat. As you come to the back of the mat, reach down, hook your 2 big toes with your first 2 fingers. Glance out halfway. Inhale, expand across the chest. Exhale, flare the elbows, drop the head, draw yourself in as you firm the thighs. And then for a moment, maybe you nod the head yes. Maybe you nod the head no. And check to see that the tongue is really resting in the mouth, that the tongue isn't pressed to the roof of the mouth, that it's a little bit heavy to the floor of the mouth. It's a strong muscle, and we just want to make sure we're not holding any tension there in the face. Take one more deep inhale as you pour yourself down and in. As you exhale, release your big toes and very gently crawl your way back out, downward facing dog. As you take your time, you come back to the top of your mat, root into your 2 strong hands. Give yourself a moment just to really drop in. Now you kind of know what's coming. You've already done the first side. You're prepared for what's ahead. Take a deep inhale, press back. Gaze forward, bend the knees. Step or lightly float to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold in. Inhale, sweep the arms out, rise high as the palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart as you bring it in, and then step open to face the right. And as you step open to face the right, point the toes forward for a moment, set your feet, then go ahead and kick the heels in, point the toes out. As you drop the tailbone down, you notice you're not sticking your bottom back, and you're also not over tucking the pelvis to the face. You're one long line of energy as you sit deep. Spread the arms out on an inhale, palms face down, shoulders, sides of the neck soft. As you exhale, right hand to the inside edge of your right foot, left arm to the sky, and then look forward at your left knee. Did it collapse in? Do you need to continue tracking it open over the center of the foot? Sit down as deep as you can into that shape. Keeping your thighs where they are. Inhale, press back through the center, palms face down. Exhale, left hand to the inside edge of the left foot, right arm to the sky as you stack those shoulders. Check your back right knee, make sure it's where you think, over the center of the foot. On the inhale, press back through the center, the palms face down. Sink a little bit deeper, last big breath. Hands to the heart as you exhale, straighten the legs. Keep the left toes pointing forward, spin your back foot parallel and on a gentle angle at the back edge of your mat. Spread your arms out wide, palms face down, take a goodbye inhale. Sink in, second warrior, bend your left knee. Descending your left thigh parallel to the top of your mat. Gaze steady over the horizon and just letting the sweat pour down the face, leaving everything else alone except your breath. Spin your left palm to the sky. Inhale, reverse it. Left arm sweeps up and overhead as you draw back. Can you envision your breath going into your left lung, fully receiving all of the space that you're making? Take one more big inhale, reach back. Exhale, left hand to the inside edge of your left foot. Right arm straight up to the sky. And then right away, up and over the head, reach it out. One long line of energy. The shoulder and the knee just connected and glued together as you continue to wrap the chest toward the sky. On the inhale, right arm lifts up high. As you exhale, spin your right palm to face behind you. Drop your right hand behind your back. And remember that you can absolutely stay here if this is best. If you have the full bind, snake your left hand underneath you, hook the right wrist or the right fingertips. And even if you know that you're going on to Bird of Paradise, give yourself a second here to really be in this pose or in this shape. If you're staying here, stay here. If you have the balance, glance down to your left foot, step your right foot up to meet your left. Shift your weight into your right foot. And then as you rise to your left toes, continue to hug your left knee in. As you shift into Bird of Paradise, take a couple of breaths, but remember, if you're practicing at home and you're holding the bind or even the half bind, stay there and breathe. Know that you have your breath to support you. If you're in Bird of Paradise, take one more inhale. Start to bend your left knee, plant your left toes down toward the mat. Lightly step your right foot straight to the back of your mat. We all meet back here. Left hand comes down to the floor. Right arm sweeps to the sky. On the inhale, reverse it. Send the left arm up and overhead. Pull it back for momentum. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Step the left toes back and lower slow. The elbows hug in as you release. Inhale, scoop the heart up. Exhale, tuck the toes and press back. Give yourself a second to ground in down dog. Take a deep inhale, stretch everything back. Gaze forward, bend the knees, step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, chest out. Exhale, forward fold in. On the inhale, sweep the arms out. Beautiful breath. Exhale, hands to the heart, close the eyes. And as you close the eyes, feel the sweat just dripping on the skin. Maybe even feel how the clothes are a little bit imperfect, and just sense yourself going completely inside, leaving all that other stuff alone. And then call to mind something completely different that you feel gratitude for in your life. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a pet, maybe it's an event that recently happened, or something super simple like someone held a door open for you. See if you can call that new event to mind in all of its entirety, everything about it. The colors, the smells, the textures. And sense it pulsing through you. Sense how it shifts things. It brings your focus right into the center of your heart, calms your mind, and drops you into what's really important about this practice, that inner pause button that you're able to access and connect with. And then holding that there, really gently blink your eyes open. And as you blink your eyes open, take your right hand to your right hip and hug your left knee into your chest. And as you hug your left knee into your chest, this might be enough. You could absolutely stay here if you were practicing at home with us. If you have the space, the first two fingers of your left hand, reach down and hook your left big toe. Remember that knee continues to hug in and point straight up. Then just to your own amount, send that left heel out, flexing the toes toward the face. Now, these yogis all have their legs really straight, but at home, you might be quite bent, and that would be just fine, continuing to hug that left shoulder head back into the shoulder socket. As you feel ready, start to open the leg out to the side, remembering you could hold the knee instead if that were best. Then maybe start to gaze over the right shoulder, challenge your balance as you look away from your center line. Keeping the hips pointing directly ahead, On the inhale, gaze forward. Bring your left leg back down the center. Continue to let it float there. Send your arms to the sky. Your shoulders over your hips, your belly drawing back. Just one breath here. Take a big inhale. Exhale, your left foot comes down to meet the right. Keep the arms overhead. Interlace everything except your first two fingers. Take a deep inhale at the top and then over to the right as you exhale. Sweep those fingertips. And you might just go a little bit, you might go really far. It's totally personal. You breathe as you anchor into the outer edge of your left foot. Inhale back to the center and exhale over to the left. Deep sounds of your breath. Knowing that anything else that's coming up in the mind, it can wait. On the inhale, back to the center. Exhale, hands to the heart as you bring it into the center line. Pause there for a moment. Hug your right knee up and into your chest. And as your right knee hugs to your chest, bring your arms back up toward the sky, deep breath, and kick your right leg straight out. Flex your toes to your face. Just a moment here, big goodbye inhale. Float to third warrior as you exhale. Your arms might come down by your sides, or maybe they stay out ahead. Hands could even remain at the heart. They're all great places to be. What's most important here are the hips. Low back, flat to the ceiling above. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, your right hand comes down to the floor underneath your right shoulder. Your left arm reaches its way toward the sky. So it's the shoulders that stack, but the hips stay exactly the same as your left hip hugs in. Your inner thighs draw together, so you're secure into the center line of the shape. Then as you reach up, maybe you gaze up to that left thumb, take a big inhale, lean back, open up, deep breath. Exhale, left hand comes to the mat, standing splits. Walk your hands in either side of your left foot. Wrap your left forearm around your left calf. Maybe start to draw your chin to your shin. So it's not about seeing how high this back right leg can go. It's seeing about how energized it can remain. And we're working with strength here rather than flexibility, so that outer right hip is rotating down toward the mat. Take one more big inhale. As you exhale, right toes meet the left, fold in half. Inhale, pull the chest out. Exhale, forward fold and melt. Bend your knees, drop your hips, circle your arms to the sky, chair pose. As your arms reach up and overhead, see if you can keep your thighs parallel to the mat. Bring your hands to your heart, right elbow to your outer left knee as you take your twist. Dragging the thumbs back and projecting the sternum forward, the same work happens here. The right thigh hugs back so the knees stay side by side, and the left hip hugs into the center line. If it made sense to spread the arms out wide, then go for it. Your right hand comes to the outside edge of your left knee. Reach the fingertips away from each other. Get broader across the expansiveness of your chest. Keep the knees where they are. Inhale, chair pose, deep breath at the top. Exhale, dive and fold over your thighs. Inhale, glance out. Exhale, hands down, step or shoot the toes back through the vinyasa to release. Inhale, a really welcome cobra or upward facing dog. As you exhale, tuck the toes, press back. Pausing in down dog, step your 2 feet together at the back of the mat. On the inhale, float forward, upper push-up plank position. Remember, you can always put the right knee down underneath the right hip for support. If it feels right, pivot to the outer edge of the right foot, send the left arm to the sky. Flex the toes back toward the face and drive the heels back. For a moment, keep your big toes connected and just lift the left heel for a beat. You could stay right here, or as you lift the left leg, bring the sole of the left foot to the right inner thigh. It's above the knee. Take a big inhale at the top, left arm out and over the head as you exhale to extend. Press the side waist away from the floor. Beautiful, you guys. Inhale, left arm straight up to the sky. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Hold tree if you can. Exhale, hover chaturanga. Shoot the left toes back. Inhale, cobra or upward facing, lift the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes. Press everything back. Beautiful. As you get here, take a moment in downward facing dog. Firming the heels down. Wrapping the outer arms away from the sides of the head. Take a goodbye breath in down dog. As you exhale, lower the knees to the mat. Crawl the knees forward to the top of the mat. Bring your knees together, open your feet out wide away from your hips. Sit your sit bones down between your heels. So you could always sit on a block if you felt like you needed some support. Some of us are going to stay right here, hands on the thighs. Some of us feel like the knees are healthy enough and it's safe enough to start to recline back onto the forearms, or maybe all the way down onto the back. So the most important thing to keep in mind is that this pose is not about you laying down on your back. This pose is about touching the most primitive joint in your body, your knees. It's such a sensitive place. So our intention is to keep the knees together. And as the knees stay together, the fronts of the knees, the backs of the thighs stay down to the mat. They're not popping up and off the floor. When the knees pop up and off the floor, the knees separate. We put the meniscus, which is a really important part of your knee, at risk. And we want to keep you super safe. So you might sit upright, and that would be great. Stay there today. And wherever you are, whether you're upright or whether you're laying on the back, close your eyes, feed yourself with some really nice, slow, deep breaths. Arms might come up and over the head. They might stay in your lap if you're upright. Arms could even be down by the sides. What's right for you in this moment, that's what we're tapping into as we slow down. And then as you feel ready, send your arms forward if they're over your head. As your arms reach forward, press down into your elbows, lift your chest, and then one arm at a time, press your heart back up if you're on your back. Then roll forward onto your hands and knees, pause in tabletop pose. Step your right toes to the back of the mat, straighten your right leg, drive your right heel back, just rebuild the back of the knee for a breath. Then as you exhale, lower the right knee down. Same thing, second side. Step your left toes back, drive your left heel back. Take a deep inhale there. As you exhale, lower your left knee down. Cross your ankles deeply behind you. Roll onto your sit bones and roll all the way onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Give your knees a really sweet squeeze and a really soft sway side to side. And then very gently planting your 2 feet down toward the mat, about the distance of your hips. Cross your right ankle over your left knee and flex your right toes. So really important to flex the right foot. That's what protects the knee. We turn on that band of muscle across the front of the shin. If you already feel a stretch here, you can absolutely stay here. If you feel like you have more space, reach the hands through, draw the left thigh into the chest, your version of reclining pigeon. And another thing to think about if you're practicing with us at home, if you have a knee injury, sometimes it hurts to hold right underneath the knee on the front of the shin. You could always interlace the hands behind the shin at the back of the thigh instead. And sometimes that feels better if the knee is a sensitive place for you, so just know that you have options. The right thigh continues to wrap forward toward the front of the space. And then let the eyes close if you can, let the eyelids get heavy. And notice that the hips continue to stay square. So sometimes one hip kind of wants to venture off to one side. Continue to square the hips toward the top of the mat. Sit bones pointing straight ahead. And staying with your breath, let the shoulders roll down the back. And take a deep inhale here. Keep the legs where they are, spread your arms out wide, spin your palms down to the floor, plant your left foot back down to the mat, keeping your right ankle crossed. Just start to drop your left knee and the sole of your right foot over to the left. And the knee continues to point up toward the ceiling. The thigh continues to press forward to the top of the mat. Just a little deeper touch into that hip. On the inhale, come back through the center. Keep the legs as they are and slide your right thigh on top of your left thigh. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Take a deep inhale here and then right into the twist as you exhale. Drop your knees to the left. Your gaze might stay up toward the ceiling or it might drop over your right shoulder all the way to the right. And knees are going to land in all sorts of different places. Some people's knees will land all the way down toward the floor. Some will float in midair. We just want you to feel safe and rested. So if you feel like you're floating in midair and it would help to slide a block under your knees so you can rest, knowing that you can do that as well. Let the belly be really soft. On the inhale, rolling onto your back. Uncross your right thigh, plant your right foot to the mat. Cross your left ankle over your right knee, flex your left toes. So that's an important part of this pose, actively flexing the toes back toward the knee. Feel the left thigh wrapping forward toward the top of your mat. And then you can stay there, or if it feels right, reach the hands down and draw the right thigh into the chest. And if it feels okay, go ahead and close the eyes and then scan the body. So from the crown of the head all the way through the toes, is there anything that you can soften? Is there any tension that you can release? And envisioning that your left hip is really receiving your breath. Take a deep inhale here. Spread your arms out wide as you exhale. Plant your right foot to the mat, and then very gently drop everything over to the right. Left knee points up toward the ceiling, and if you're pretty open in the hips, this doesn't feel like much of a hip stretch. So think about what it might be like to try to lower the left side of your back down toward the mat. It's obviously not going to happen, but it gives you a little bit of a deeper feeling, a little bit of a deeper touch into that hip. So as if you could energetically lower the back of your left hip down toward the mat if you feel like you need a little bit more. And then on the inhale, coming back through the center, keep the ankle where it is and then slide the thighs tightly on top of each other and into an easy twist. Drop both knees over to the right, just emphasizing that a little bit. And so most importantly, that left shoulder stays down. That's your anchor. Wherever the knees land, they land. Let them be there. Gaze might be straight up or gaze might be out and over the left arm. On the inhale, coming back through the center, uncross the legs, hug and squeeze the knees into the chest. As you squeeze the knees into the chest, wrap the forearms around the knees, bring the forehead up to meet the knees, squeeze everything in. Take one last deep inhale through the nose, hold it at the top, see if you can draw in a little more breath, and then let it go. Legs extend, arms extend. Let the feet fall away from each other. Let the palms spin up to the sky. And as the back of the head gets heavy to the mat, close the eyes. Taking just a couple of moments here to rest fully and deeply. Starting to take a little deeper breath in. See if the body can stay soft and if the eyes can stay closed. Let some movement come back down into the fingers and into the toes. Sweep the arms up and overhead and extend long from the back of your mat all the way through the tips of your toes as you reach. Exhale, hug the knees into the chest, and then just as gently as you can, create some momentum and rock all the way back up to sit. Find an easy cross of the legs and bring the palms together to touch at the heart. Bowing the eyes down toward the tips of the fingers, acknowledging yourself for making time and practice today, and giving gratitude to your practice for all the goodness it brings to your life. On the inhale, placing the hands to the forehead for clarity of thought, the fingertips to the lips for thoughtfulness of speech, and the hands to the heart for consistency of action, allowing your practice to guide you through everything you're thinking, saying, and doing. Together, take a deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth. Namaste. If you're practicing with us at home, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you next time.